What's going on YouTube? Today we are going to carry over threat intelligence tools. In a previous video we talked about cyber threat intelligence. We explained some of the tools that are used in this field. Among the tools we have gone over are Abuse.CH and URLScan, and these tools offer various techniques and ways to analyze malicious files, go through a malicious website, and do other things that may help you in extracting artifacts, indicators of compromise, and building up a profile for the attacker to boost your defensive measures. Now, in today's video, we're going to carry over the rest of the threat intelligence tools, namely, or specifically, we're going to talk about email phishing analysis or email analysis. So basically, when we talk about email analysis, we aim to analyze emails to uncover if the email is actually used for phishing or not. So for that purpose, what we're going to do, we're going to deploy the attacker machine, and we're going to start the machine that contains the email samples. So we have over 3 email samples here. All of the 3 emails are categorized or classified as phishing emails. So they were sent by real attackers to harvest credentials, i.e. usernames or passwords, or to infect the victim's machines with malwares. So we're going to analyze these 3 emails with a popular tool called PhishTool. So PhishTool can be accessed from the attacker box because the machine here doesn't have internet access. So I found the only way to access the tool and uploading the samples is to have both machines up and running. So from the attacker machine, I will access the tool link. So the link of the tool can be grabbed from here. You need to sign up. I've already done that, so I'm going to directly log in. I have the password. Okay, so this displays the dashboard. Let's go over the tool and explain the various parts or the sections it has before we go on and upload the samples. So here we have the dashboard. As you can see, dashboard displays the recent analysis that you have performed. As you can see, we have 3 recent manual uploads. Both of them, or 2 out of 3 have been resolved. Resolved means that the email has been analyzed and categorized, whether to be malicious or not malicious, safe. And as you can see, out of these 2 resolves, 2 has been categorized or resolved as malicious and 0 as safe. And here you can see visualizations of the data that have been analyzed. This is the dashboard. On the analysis, here as you can see, we choose to upload the files, the email files. The email files are actual emails. You can extract them from the email clients, namely Outlook or Thunderbird. As you can see on the machine here, we have Thunderbird email. So if you are using Thunderbird, you can save the email, save as, and extract it here in the email extension. If you're using Outlook, you can as well save the email, save as, and upload it here. So that's the only way we can analyze the emails. You have to extract them from email clients, or you can use text message formats. If you have the email in text format, you can also upload it here. The history. The history section shows all of the past submissions we have uploaded to the tool. As you can see here, we have 3 submissions, meaning we analyzed 3 email samples. And these 3 emails are the same samples displayed in the machine here. But I'm going to redo them one more time for the demonstration purposes. Here we have Entry. This is enterprise feature, or a feature that's only available in the enterprise version of the tool. It offers you the ability to integrate Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace with the tool. And here you have the upgrade, and this is your profile. So that's how PhishTool works, or this is a quick brief of the various sections of the tool. Now we're going to do the analysis section. So here we're going to upload the samples, but since the samples are stored in another machine, and this machine doesn't have internet access, what I'm going to do, I'm going to fire here a web server. So cd desktop emails. Okay, python dash. Okay, now going to the attacker box. Okay, going to download the samples, cd desktop wget, and the machine is deployed. Let's see where is the IP address of the machine. There you go. Going back to the attacker box. Okay, start with the first sample, email 1.eml, and download the second sample and the third. And we have all of them here, as you can see in the desktop. Now we're going back to the browser and upload the sample. So we go back to history here. We're going to unresolve all of these to be able to reanalyze them. We click on that, and as you can see here, we have the option to unresolve. Back to the analysis, history, and here we click on unresolved, and I have the opportunity to re-upload this and analyze it one more time. Let's clear. Okay. Upload, starting with the first sample. Alright, now we have uploaded the sample email. As you can see on the left, we have a breakdown of the various sections that we can go through to quickly and deeply analyze the email. On the right, we have a display of the email, or a render of the email. As you can see, that's how it looks like when you open the email in any email client. And that's in plain text, that's in HTML format, the HTML code, and that's the source. So going back here, that's how the victim received the email. If you take a closer look at the email, as you can see, it displays a button so that the victim would click on the button and visit the malicious page. And here, as you can see, it is actually claiming to be coming from LinkedIn, judging by the text displayed here and judging by the logo here, as you can see. So the attacker has done a good job in impersonating LinkedIn, or the way LinkedIn sends emails. So you have, as you can see, the footer, the unsubscribe, the opt-out, the logo, and the format of the email, the colors, the way the notifications or the number of notifications are displayed over the logo. So that's perfectly email that looks like an email coming from LinkedIn. Okay, now let's go to the various sections that we have in the PhishTool to analyze the email. On the headers, we have information about the sender, receiver, the IP address, and the domain. As you can see, this is the sender email address. And if you take a closer look, as you can see, it's coming from a domain that's different from LinkedIn. So that's the first indication that this email is phishing email. That's the display name. It's not important. That's the recipient email, the person who received the email, the timestamp, and here we have the return path if you want to reply to the email, and here we have originating IP address. That's the IP address of the email server, the email server from which the message has been composed and sent. And as you can see, this is the domain name, right? Or let me call it the subdomain that hosts the email addresses. So these two are key information in analyzing the email. Now let's go to the received lines. The received lines displays how many hops it took the email to reach the final destination. As you can see, it traveled through 5 or 4 hops, meaning it traveled through 4 SMTP or email servers. As you can see, we have the Outlook, Office 365. So it has gone through different Outlook servers to reach the destination. X headers, and these are the headers added by the destination. And this is the security. The security displays information about the security headers that can be added by the sender. So the sender domain name is this one. So when setting up an email server, you have the domain name and you have the option to set up security headers to improve the deliverability of the email. Sender policy framework is important to prevent the email from ending up in the spam. So these configurations are done by the sender, not by you. But it gives you insight on how much effort the attacker has spent on setting up the domain, setting up the various configurations to improve the deliverability of all of the emails that they may intend to send. Attachments, no attachments, message URLs includes all of the URLs that are included in the email. And this feature is very good in actually giving you the chance to take a look at all of the links that the email contains without the need to click on them. So sometimes you would receive an email and you are curious or tempted to see where this link or where this button takes you. What's the link? What's the website? Here it saves you the hassle and it displays the email, the links. As you can see, this is a domain name that if you clicked on the message, you would see in your browser, or you would visit Portal Labs, and that's the path or the page that you will end up at if you clicked on the button. And these are tracking information, the protocol and the port. So as you can see, it's very clear that the link here or the domain name is different from LinkedIn. It's not LinkedIn. So this is another indication that the email is phishing email. So after going through all of these sections, you will have analyzed the email and you will have an idea or a conclusion on whether the email is a phishing email. So so far we have concluded that the email is not what it seems to be. So it claims to be from LinkedIn, but it is not. So we can safely categorize the email as phishing. So when we click on this one, it will actually take you to a login page. As you can see, we can click on this one and it will open the email inside the tool. Hopefully it will open. As you can see, it doesn't open now because the server is not working, but normally it would take you to a page where you are required to log in to view the messages. So what we can do here, we can, after analyzing the email, we can go to resolve and categorize it. So here it's categorized as malicious, and here we put the artifacts from the email based on which we have concluded that the email is malicious. So the first artifact is from. By taking a look at the from email address, we can see it is not coming from LinkedIn. The domain name is also another indicator whether the email is actually coming from the destination it's supposed or it claims to be coming from. Return path, the return path domain. Also we have the message URL and message URL domain. All of these are artifacts that we have used to differentiate this fake email from the original email that normally comes from LinkedIn. Now the IP address, we can use IP address as an artifact, but it's not an actual artifact because the IP address alone cannot be an indication whether the email is phishing email or not. We have to do some who's lookup on the domain name to find out, but alone it cannot give you an insight. Classification codes. Let's classify the email. So as you can see, it's very clear, it's credential harvesting. So by clicking on the button, it will take you to a page to log in to be able to view the message. Other than that, we can also categorize as reconnaissance because it gathers user information. And we have, let's see, compromised sender, impersonation can be. So we have the option to use only 2 categories. That's fine. Resolve. As you can see now, it's resolved as malicious. We can go to history and take a look at the analysis we have done. And this is, as you can see, the email that we have just analyzed. Let's go back to analysis and analyze the next piece. So this is the next email. Okay. Again, that's how the email looks like. Dear all, we have made balance payment for attached invoice. Our below forwarder will contact your site for pickup arrangement. So this email is kind of different from the last email. So basically here there's an attachment and it's claiming to be coming from some sort of finance department. And this is the sender, but if you look at the email itself, as you can see, it's claiming to be coming from here, this address. So there is no need to send the original tax invoice or declaration letter together with no goods source. Okay, so this email has been sent from what seems to be a financial advisor. Okay, and it's claiming that we need to open the invoice to be able to view the bill and the finance details. If you take a look at the from, as you can, it's coming from a Gmail account, from Gmail address, and it is addressed to Chris Lyons at supercarcenterdetroit.com, right? And we, as you can see, we see the originating IP, which we can also analyze using Cisco Talos or other IP lookup tools, and we have the DNS name. Okay, received lines, these are the timestamps and the SMTP servers. As you can see, we have this weird SMTP server, 31t11.com, and then this is the MX record for the receiving end, the Supercar Rental Detroit. X headers, security, attachments, this is the attachment. And we're given, as you can see, the hashes. So what do we do in this case? We want to analyze this email. Apparently there is no link in this email. If you click on message URLs, as you can see, there are no displayed URLs. So it is not a phishing email that targets user credentials. So the only way to find out what's going on is to analyze the attachments here. So in order to analyze attachments, you don't need to download it and do some sort of malware static and dynamic analysis. You can just use threat intelligence. So by using threat intelligence, we actually aim to use these indicators of compromise or artifacts and analyze them. We can quickly do that. We can take the SHA-256 and use then threat intelligence tools, which are so many, and we explain so many of them. In this video, we're going to go over Cisco Talos Intelligence. So you go to Reputation Center and we click on Talos File Reputation. Here we get the chance to analyze a file by its SHA hash, search, and we're given the classification. As you can see, this is a malicious file. So this email is safely can be judged as a malicious email address. And as you can see, probably the attacker wants to infiltrate victims' computers using this fake invoice. If we scroll down to take a look at the classification or detection aliases of this file, as you can see, it's categorized as malware, Windows malware, Trojan horse, and these categorizations are taken from various antivirus products. If you go to VirusTotal and paste in the hash, let's take the MD5. So we have 50 hits. And if you go to details, see other names for the file. This is the name that appeared in the email, as you can see. Other names are malware, virus. These are the names the attackers have used historically for this file. And it is portable executable file. So if they extract the zip, it will be a portable executable, or they will find a portable executable file, which again you can analyze statically or dynamically, but to save yourself the hassle, you can just use the hash. And here we have the relations, explanations of about the behavior of the malware. Community, what the community has to say about this. This is the analysis, and as you can see, it's categorized as Stealer, Trojan, or form book. So probably when the file is downloaded, it performs some spyware activity. This is the full report. Okay then, so this email is malicious. Now we can go here and resolve, click on malicious artifacts. What are the artifacts? It is actually the file hash. And also we can use the file name, since the file name here is mentioned in the VirusTotal analysis as one of the names that the attackers have historically used. Scrolling down, other than that, we only have the file name and the file hash. We can also click on the originating IP, but it's enough for now, the file name and the file hash. Classification codes. So it is, as we saw, it is malicious attachment and it is malware. Resolve. History. So we have 2 cases resolved now. Going back to the analysis, we can upload the latest sample. All right, let's take a look at the right pane here, where it displays the render of the email. Please find our purchase order attached to this email. Thank you for your business. Appreciate it very much. Sincerely, purchase order summary. So it claims to be coming from maybe an e-commerce website where you might have ordered some product or some goods or services, and here they are sending you the purchase order that you have performed. So when you receive this email, you may ask yourself, or you may wonder, what kind of purchase I have done before. So let's take a look at where it's coming from. It came from int.uit.com, and as you can see, it claims to be coming from the customer service at this company, and they are notifying you about the purchase order you have performed. All right, fine. What do you have to take a look at? As you can see, it has an attachment. So this attachment contains your purchase order, or supposedly the purchase order. It's an Excel file, and here we have the hashes. So to analyze the email, since there are no links here, the only way to find out the nature of the email is to analyze the hashes. Again, we take the hashes and we go to Cisco Talos, paste in the hash, and we search. So it is a malicious file. Scrolling down, as you can see, it is classified as Writeups. Writeups is a banking Trojan used to steal banking information, credit cards, by using Microsoft Office macros. So this file contains macros that, if executed, it will aim to steal banking information. That's the official explanation of Writeups. Now, if you take the hash and go to VirusTotal, analyze it here. Search, 39 hits out of 161. Going to details, see the names that have been used: sales, application bin, A, test. These are the names that attackers have historically used. Go to relations. What is the behavior? These are the contacted URLs. As you can see, these URLs are probed or pinged or reached out to by the Trojan or the file or the binary or the malware when it is downloaded and executed inside the victim machine. So it's communicating to a C2 server, let me call it. Scrolling down, these are the detections, and here, as you can see, we have 4 hits on the IP address that the Trojan contacted. Now if you go to behavior, here we get to see brief analysis of the behavior of the file. So as you can see, again, these are the contacted C2 servers. These are the dropped files. Registry keys, processes, as you can see. Now we go then to community. As you can see, there are a lot of contributions and submissions or analysis that have been done by community members. So this one says that this file was found in Malshare and can be downloaded from here. This one has been analyzed by Joe Sandbox, and this is the full rundown. You can take a look at the full analysis by going to one of the links here. So how do we use this information? So basically, when we analyze the phishing email here, we found this sample. We can use these artifacts, the hashes, and the artifacts or the analysis submitted by other members here to boost your security measures by feeding these information to firewalls or IPS systems or endpoint detection programs or software to be able to prevent yourself from such attacks. So now we can safely go to resolve and choose malicious, the artifacts, file name and the file hash, classification codes, attachment, malicious attachment, and malware. Resolve, and that's it. Okay, now the answers. So the answers are very easy, guys. You can go through if you have followed me accurately here, or if you carefully followed me here, you'll be able to answer the questions. They are very easy. Just you have to go over the various sections of the analysis here, resolution, headers, and you'll be able to extract the answers for this task. Scenario 1, and this is scenario 2. Okay guys, so that's for today. I hope you like it, and I will see you in the next video.